as a digital simulation, really.
I don't even know if I can hear me, man. Oh, I'm about to go and check. Well, I gotta check something right quick because they might not. They might be messing with it. I gotta see. I gotta see. Live, and I gotta see. I gotta see. I gotta see. Oh, we got volume. Okay. Live, and I gotta see. And I'm lagging. They can't help themselves. They cannot help themselves. Like, it ain't technology. It's the knuckleheads.
Is the war with this beast? Melody, but when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets. In the bright glow of the dawn, I see myself clearly, bringing in a new day. The old way of doing things is done. I don't care what you say. Don't sleep under your bed. They sleep inside your head. And if you haven't done the shadow work, you're left behind is where you stay. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. That's my decision. Is to walk with this beast. Through tones, melodies, tones, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the street. We got Prince Atlas on school. Our babies is up a state, not just no moms, but also no posses. Mola, worshiping pedophiles, wanna feed our children's spirits to robots. Turn all of us from carbon-based to silicone-based. Should be where the shit show stops. Get back to doing for ourselves. Barter system irrigation and grow crops. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to walk with this beast. Through tones, melodies, tones, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets. I'm saying I'm not some master teacher. No, am I some pastor or preacher? Was released from prison with this passion to speak of. After doing 25 years in the beach cups. Realize they tried to teach us spiritual, mental, physical diet. They tried to feed us the fire of our ancestors resides in each of us. With that, I'm inspired to turn this heat up. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Plus my decision is to war with this beast. Through tones, melodies, tones, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets. We're really approaching almost like it's a Frankenstein moment. And they're framing it to us as, innovation, right? Where we should all be so excited that this is happening. And, I equate it to like the golem bringing in like these robots. They would like to feed our life force to learn us in every tiny detail, not to empower us, but to actually transform us into a robotic simulation that is under their full control. Nah, bro. Come on. You almost there, bro. I do it past the shot town. Who am I but shot town? You young fool, I'm too fly to just slide out. Blue sky behind ground. I'm trying to flash helmet. So my aircraft still fit. Heavy tied down, you receive belted. I look down, I see green like a Celtic. My Jeep pulverized, the cheese is melted. The remnants of cash money, I dispelled it. You did the future to my eyes, I beheld it. The finger fucked it, caused my hand, I dealt it. Felt the vibrate from the gut of my pelvic. It bust off of some ice and some velvet shit. So radiant, I keep a dark room well lit. Cause you little goofies are well quick. A hot body for real monkey velvet. Body you not for Mars. watched the females clip. As a kid, all I did was fight. I did the bit with a knife. I know I can spit my flows and shit to a fly, so haters want to crucify a real man. I still stand with the still hand, but with Hiller man, it's not cyber shield. I'm Tuttle Sheep. I'm one tough cookie. I don't follow I set standards. Catch me, you gon' have to do more to scam. Need more to scanners. I'm off the radar. I am as your goofies play God. Some worship the Christ, others pray to Allah. Chase a high, drink paper or bra. You stagnated, well I straight evolve. At a rate, I'm dated space AC, y'all. Buster stuck in the case, face off. Active shape statements of faith, you fraud. Battle start intergalactic, my mindset. Perfect comes from practice, so I rhyme best. I excel like I'm climbing the step. You got a lot to learn. I am a depth through of no concern. I am a threat. My measurement, width, lift, height, and depth. I'm just piloting up. Flying a jet, straight to adversary. Martial Chronicles like Ray Bradbury. I'm a thorough guy, goddammit. Symmetric apparel of a fly bandit. Mohawk, aviators, aerodynamics. And it's like I'm an arrow in precise transit. A Christmas Carol lies what your fans get. You growth and pearls what I transmit as a transcript. Or I just spit it off the top. It's either shit or get off the clock. This shit's hot.
Wants to get his own crew. Everybody wants to get his own crew rich. And then they want the other people to never get a piece of the pie. I don't want to go for the better. I go for you niggas that think it's all big too. I understand that. That's why you niggas can't stand me. You niggas just know that I know you can't do nothing if you're broke. Listen to me, young people, old people too. Mostly black people, I'm talking to you.
Sure. Y'all really thought that I was done with y'all. Nah. I'm really down on y'all. Settled up. We're not going back and forth about this or that, whether your word is fine or wet. Here's a big stack, yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mow, mow, Big Mac, whether earth is round or flat. We want our shit back. Enough with the chit chat. I see through the side eyes. Looking past the shine spot. Third eye gang side spots. I don't eat pork, but I will fry tops. For foes, my heart's corners and icebox. I'm saying that from the skybox. I got a stroke on you pilgrims. The stroke with some real. Some of our folks are still dumb. Yeah, and blasting the fact that, but we gon' have this real show. Warrior spirits inside me. That's where it's real from. The world's a stage, page after page, script is played out. They keep us engaged, picture or range. This is played out. Rules of a dying society should have been disobeyed out. Forehead and knee off the floor should have been prayed out. The draft is on, COVID no issue. Could have bloated in tissue. Now it's control, blows the whistle to who holds the pistol. The debate was about who knows who the official. Disregarding the aboriginal issue. We're not going back and forth about this or that. Whether your word is fine or wet. Here's a big stack. Yellow, white, red, brown, black. Bow, bow, big back. Whether earth is round or flat. We want our shit back. Fool is known by his speech, yet if I don't speak, I suffer defeat. I'm other than we, a sucker or me, stand on 2 feet, one trip the other cheek. The wise man know by his silence, who see the skies compliance, silence by guidance, from conspiring to nervous, aspiring to violence, trying to fire, trying to hide, I'm trying to fight. In environments of my voice, I'm hearing the sirens. Ring in my ear, they get indictments. These satisfied squares, pushing hypens. Alignment, the assignment. I'm not the wisest, I'm not flying. A refinement and confinement and requirements for this climate. Y'all push off the paperwork, or y'all can protest, but they can't escape this work. I vow to progress, don't duck, no rap, drill music for real. My soul, they don't pose that. Real foolish with no deal. They playing with none. It's personal, know what the business is. Big Mom says come full circle, so vacate your premises. We're not going back and forth about this or that. Whether your word is fine or whack. It's a big stack. Yellow, white, red, brown, black. Now, big bang. Whether earth is round or flat. We want our shit back. We're not going back and forth about this or that. Whether your word is fine or whack. It's a big stack. Yellow, white, red, brown, black. Now, big bang. Whether earth is round or flat. We want our shit back. I'm Kichiwa.
And my music, and a lot of his music, it's only talking about the suppressed rising. I mean, the oppressed rising up against the oppressor. That's all. That's what my music's about. The oppressed rising up against the oppressor. So the only people that's scared are the oppressors. The only people who have any harm coming to them are those who oppress. Simple as that. 3-pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, me no surrender. 3-pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, me no surrender. 3-pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, me no surrender. 3-pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, me no surrender. It's time for change, got a bounce up. The oppressor, the back, get housed up. I'm a lady, execution style, too late when apologetic punch. You rap that it's hook up, playing by God, it's open, doing your time, it's in the end. Locked silent without sin. He put me on the better, but justice the wind. The oppressor's about to get rolled down. Suppressors attached to the war zone. Revolution gets started in the Arizona. I'm a messenger, pockets like Jericho. Back by the honorable, who sits at the pinnacle, who judges the hypocritical, cynical, and the pitiful, sinful. My thinking is critical, yeah. I'm just ventilate of the actions of the protector service. Quick to hold the Glock blast and kill this. Don't take any type of skill. No, I'm ill of all citizens who have a joint stand on news. Too late when the cats get pills. Never leave a TC like going hits close to home. You gotta act the bone when it got the dome. When it's on the zone, all red in my blissful sight. It's gonna be killed whenever I fight from above. I'll be given the right. So you better be ready to ride tonight. All the way to the dawn daylight. We gon' burn them all, so gon' pass the kite. 3-pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor. Me, no.
All right, it's time to get started. How's it going, everybody? What's happening? I just want to get this over. Actually, I'm thinking about doing it again because I know it's Monday, and a lot of people have excuses. But I'm also, I have to say this. I'm also very aware, and let me light out here is canceling out the room like you in here. Y'all know I'm in the tent, so yeah. So that's not that much better. Anywho, I know people are afraid to share the most common commodity or ideologies of things that are excellent conversation pieces. I'm very aware that right now, because it's a disease everywhere, people want something to make them go, like that feeling that is a lie. And that emotion that comes from it is something that's a requirement. The reason why I figured I would come, because I had a few people talking about, we should have this discussion that everybody be able to share whatever it is. Because see, a symposium starts by gathering a group of individuals, right? And I have some information based on the Torah, the Bible, whatever you want to call it, and other narratives and ideologies that may point people in the direction of certain books that I've read, my spin or take on certain things. Hey, Darius, what's going on, Revolutionary? What's up? Resolutionary, what's going on? This is pretty good information. And of course, I have a plethora of dreams and stories to tell, other than the ones I told that I think I find the most pragmatic because I can't fake them. You know what I mean? I can't fake it. There's other people involved. You know what I mean? And my thing is it's not to push whether you're faking it or not. A lot of people, when they're telling a story, you know if they're lying, and not just from body language. It's when it becomes too exuberant, too how you say painted red. You know what I mean? Like when you have this mosaic and it is so perfect. Or some people had a dream and you can hear that the thing is transposed to make it more elegant or flashy or dynamic, or mine's is better than yours. That's not helpful. That doesn't help. That does not. Hey, what's going on? I didn't know if you got the message, so I know that they're messing with everything, like whatever. But whatever you envision, whatever you dream, whatever you may think. Oh wow, I forgot to put the link, y'all. Oh my goodness. Let me hold on. Let me say oh, I forgot. I forgot to put the link, bro. For people to come in. Where's the link? Oh my goodness. What's going on, baby girl? Slider, how's it going, sis? I forgot the link, yo. Let me make sure. Let me make sure. All right, let me make sure. Okay. Let me see. Hold on. Jeez. I don't know. I, I can't find the freaking link, yo. Let me see. New stream looking for a level up. Check your StreamYard and go. What the hell did I say? I don't even know. I don't even think that's the link is usually. I didn't see the link, y'all. I was thinking I could go back over and pull it up. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Hold on. Invite. All right. All right. Okay. 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 I'm gonna put it in there right now. My apologies. You know, I'm kind of brain dead. You know what I'm saying? Again, my apologies. Did y'all see the link in there? Is it? It should have. It should. Well, anyway, regardless of that. I find it a very important for people to be able to express what they may not have been able to express. Me and one young lady, we spoke for about an hour and friggin' I don't know 2 hours almost. Um, the night before last, and you know I was busy and ready to go to sleep, busy and finish some things. And boy, we just talking and talking and talking, and it was magnificent. But you know, like I said. Um, the reason why I find it important, I'm not saying anyone else has to find it important. The reason why I find dreams, and I want to go over some sources that are considered dreams or not, it's because those are very important. I can't see if somebody's in the background waiting to come in. This is crazy, y'all. They have changed the whole. I did the update. They have changed the whole everything. You can't make. They literally they changed everything. It's crazy. Shalom, hey, what's going on? It's Shalom, what's going on? Aqua. So if nobody wants to come in and share what this dream or anything and have a broader conversation on it, and I'm not going to keep the live going. Um, I am an individual who's easy to communicate with, conversate, talk to, disperse to, um, and it's no swearing, cussing. There's no none of that. There's no downgrade, degenerate, denoting a personal group or anything. We're not doing that. I'm not the fake Hebrew on the corner looking like Goku and Krillin and all of them dressed up, yelling at people, hating all that. I don't have to venerate that. You know, when you start addressing your dreams and focusing on you, your eternal, you manifest a whole different narrative. But yet, I want to make sure that people are clear that everyone has dreams and they've had them. Not being able to express them is it further encroaches upon the small knowledge I have of the interference by the enemy, because we were once a very communicating, communicating group of individuals. Something that's very important. It seems like we have become so fake and so plastic that we can't even communicate in the simplest of the lower of frequency, like the sin area where we ground it. You know what I mean? And it's pretty strange to me. I don't need to talk to anybody. No, literally, I don't. I don't have that. And if that is a thought in here, then somebody's pretty messed up, and they probably have some traumatic head injury or brain, or you need to get your brain stem and your cerebellum and your oblongata, everything checked, because there's some trauma. There might be too much pressure on one spot and fluid being lifted. This communicating about these things with individuals who may have a little knowledge, maybe, or be able to spot something and ask you, did you ever venture into that spot? What kind of fear of frozen or staleness, or you were in the bed sleep and you woke up and you couldn't move? there are those of us who need to hear that, and then we can relay something that may be beneficial. We're not going to sit up here in the mirror crying Candyman. That's not how it goes. All right, it doesn't work that way. And I can't tell if anybody wants to come in. It's so weird, y'all. Usually it would say this whole layout is different, y'all. And I checked my layout and all that. And even on my layout, right? Let's go with this. Let's just go with this. Let's do the spotlight, and maybe, excuse me. I can't even see if you're in the back room or anything. I guess nobody came in, huh? That's what happens. Anyway, seeing how nobody wants to communicate about whether they've had dreams or they've heard their relatives talk about them when they were young, or I don't care if it's church related. I don't care what it is, because look, I'm gonna say it like this, and I'm gonna keep it pressing. You can benefit from it because it's yours. And I know there's some of y'all that had the dream you done killed a whole lot of folk, and this, that, and other. All that stuff is malevolent and needs to be discussed, okay? And some of you probably going through something in a relationship. There's so much things in this perverse so-called world that I figure that y'all might actually want to listen to somebody who actually knows something. I guess not. So if that's the case, I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. I was going to read a bunch of information and share it with those when they come in, but I think I'm going to go ahead and enjoy me a King Louis the 13th. And, you would like to hear, I can't see with this referral link in my way, what you have to say about that. No, I need people to come in and talk about their dreams. And then I can be a guide stone, maybe. That's what it was all set up for. If I didn't come over here, I don't pay for this, so I can sit here and just talk. I'm going to connect it to my Patreon, so that way we can do it over there, and we can talk any kind of way. As long as the right amount of members or people have bought in and they come over there, the conversation can go ham. We could be like we Clubhouse or whatever. All right. And you can listen to me when I'm reading things that I won't read on YouTube. Yes, I have books that I would never read on YouTube. I know you, the way you've talked to that little Charleston White gimmick. I was doing that long before there was a Charleston White. All right. I'm looking at my thing because I didn't mirror it, which I could set it up, but I'm not going to. Anyway, I got this breathing. It's cool on my head. I like it. And we was up there. Oh, all we gotta do now. Oh, let me share this with y'all. We were we got T put the last piece of wood in, right? We got all of it. The fuck I'm so retarded. Yeah, I'm mirroring. I'm not mirroring. Anyway, I've got all the R19 up there. Probably need 2 more actually. So we can start insulating, we're letting the silicone dry. We can start insulating and covering the deck. Anyway, so I appreciate if people were to come on in and we can have a conversation. I don't care if it's a minute. If it's just, oh, this is what happened, or this would happen, and then I can say, okay, now I got some stuff that I want to read to y'all. But a lot of y'all don't want to have deep conversation. I don't know. Ain't nobody that much of an introvert or extrovert where y'all can't communicate certain things. A lot of you go live. You got videos and everything. What's wrong with a little apprehension or something? This is not about me being right and I'm the teacher. No, this is about everybody learning how to walk side by side and communicate. I'm not gonna say nothing else because I'm damn sure not begging. I don't have nothing to lose. I'm in tune with my dreams or what other 262 names there may be for it. All right. I've never seen, I could be a racist, probably have the biggest organization. I could be saying African American and black and all the other dumb stuff, and be talking that, and everybody, all that crowd would be in just blurting out all kind of nonsense. I come over here where they're supposed to be not soldiers are proxies. They're told what to do, warriors, and y'all can't even materialize and function like warriors. I don't know. I think names and labels like clothes and designers things, I think that's what's befitting. I think that people appreciate that more than anything instead of being real. and actually being able to communicate and conversate and better themselves to be able to, you know, speak those things. But I don't know what makes people so scared. Yo, Marcus, hey man, I appreciate that what you call it, brother, that donation, beloved. How you doing, man? What was that? You logged out? Oh, I can try again. I got a lot of feedback. Okay. I'm trying to see. I don't, you know what? If you do decide to come in, I don't even know where it's gonna be at because I got it set up. Yeah, okay. I got my style locked in, laid down. I actually have the okay. Hold on. Oh, okay. All right. All right. All right.
Can
Is
you
she
hear
in
me?
there?
Can you hear me?
Hey!
Can you hear me okay though?
Yes.
Okay. It's no, it's not. I'm not getting feedback now. So
Excellent. Yeah, I hear you fine, sis.
okay. How's everybody doing?
Yo, we got Niece Deece up in here. She wants to change the baby girl slaughter thing, but she is baby girl slaughter.
Okay. I'm still getting feedback.
Oh, you are? Oh,
Yeah.
let me make sure. Hold
Okay.
on. All right, let me make sure I got the cancellation up. Hold on. Hold
It's
on.
like delayed or something.
Okay, hold on.
Yes.
How's that? Is that better?
Yeah, it's like delayed.
Okay, but we'll work. How is it like a second, a minute? I mean,
I'm wondering if should I disconnect from YouTube and just stay in StreamYard? I've never done this before, so that's why I'm asking.
yeah. You know what? You can stay in, if you can stay in StreamYard and disconnect from YouTube. Absolutely.
Okay, let me try that.
So
Hold
that's
on.
great. Good feedback too.
Hold on, let me try. Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, I don't know what happened, so I disconnected from. I think I'm good.
Okay. 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 Now I hear. Okay. How I sound? How do I sound?
Perfect. Okay, so
Okay. There we
I
go.
wanted to ask you about these two dreams that I've been having, and I've been having them since I was a kid. Like
Okay.
since I don't know, since before I was walking or right around the time I started walking. And
Okay.
I always just assumed it was some type of how do you say a memory or something happened previously in a previous life.
Okay.
But I've had him for over, I'm 56. So I've had him since I was maybe 6 or 7 that I can recall. The same two occurring dreams each time. So
Okay.
the first one, which, it's going to sound crazy, but I'll just walk you back through it.
No,
So
just
I'm
do
in
it.
some water. I'm in some water. I'm in the middle
Okay.
of the ocean.
Okay.
And obviously, in this lifetime I can't swim, but previously I guess I was a swimmer. But I was on the shoulders of this very, very large being, like a giant almost. And I was drowning, and this person picked me up with their hand. I was standing in their hands, and they put me on top of their shoulder, and they walked me back up to the shore and set me down on the beach. And that's, I mean, I keep having that dream over and over and over. So I thought to myself, okay, that's kind of strange. I would tell my family about it, but nobody would really have anything to say. But that's been a recurring thing. And sometimes it comes and it goes. I haven't had it in several months, but it's always been in my background. Like always, at this time where I'm on the beach, I'm seeing something like fires burning in the background. I don't know how I ended up in the water, but if it hadn't been for this particular person, and it was a woman, it wasn't a man, it was a woman who put me on her shoulders and set me down gently on the beach. And it was like, and when I turned around to look away from the water and like look back up on the hill, all I saw were these fires, and it was like just a lot of smoke. and it was chaos and people were screaming. But I don't know where that came from. You know, I've had that dream since I was a very small child. And the next recall that I had was, I guess I was probably, I mean, I had that dream too. I started having it when I was a teenager. So I was in high school, but I was running through the woods. I lived in the country out in the middle of nowhere. And all I can remember is I was running away from someone. And as I was turning back around to look back over my shoulder, that person shot me. He shot me right in my head, right in my face. And I remember that just like it was yesterday. And then every time I have that same dream, I wake right up in the middle of the night and I'm like panting. I'm in a sweat. I'm breaking out my sweat and I have to get up, turn the light on, go change my clothes because I'm like soaking wet from like just overheating. So, you know, I kind of tolerate that. I mean, my husband knows when I have a dream, he tries to wake me up. He's like, you had the same dream again? I'm like, yeah. So I don't know what those mean, but I've always had them and I just kind of accepted them and just know maybe it's brought on by stress or it's a memory or something. But I wanted to ask you about the interpretation of those things. I don't know.
Oh, wow. I'm just hitting the mirror on my camera. My apologies because it was driving me mad.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You know what? Hey, West Side. Welcome West Side on. Big West Side. You met brother right here. He's a good brother of mine. West Side, that's Neef D. She's excellent. She's got a magnificent family. I think her son's over in Palestine, but you know, he's making this point.
Yeah,
but,
he's back.
Yeah.
He's back.
He's back. Okay.
Yeah, he came back last week.
Your dreams, I was going to, when you mentioned the one about getting shot, right?
Yeah.
I had this one dream, because you know I have a lot, and we're going to touch on that, but I'm going to let Westside go, but I'm going to respond to yours, where I was flipping these things. I was literally putting my hand, because I had been shot at. Now, was I hit? I remember I fell, and I got back up, and I fell, and I got back up again, and I started flipping these things that looked like giant blocks. I was literally scooping my hand close to them or under and lifting them and making them fly into the direction where all this stuff was coming. I can't remember it all, but I remember it was a flash, and then that was the end. But I can remember seeing weird, I guess you could say, cities, and they were humongous. Like, they didn't look like today. They were just tall buildings, like, or whatever they called. They were connected. They were, it was crazy. But when you're talking about that, right? Remember, I'm always professing. This is where I needed to get to. I'm not saying anyone has to accept this. I say these are past lives.
Yeah, I think so.
And when you state ancestors, you are your ancestors.
I feel you. I understand. When you said that the other day, I was like, damn, he's right. Because I've been having this for a very long time.
I can think it. It's not about being right, hon. I just want you to be in line with me. That's it.
Yeah, it resonates with me because it's like, why do I keep having the same dream over and over? And it picks back up right at the same spot. It's like, why can't I continue moving forward? It's the same thing over and over.
It's like the story of that existence was unfinished.
Yeah, exactly.
What side? What you got? Because I'm gonna comment on the other one too. But yeah, what you got, bro? What's happening?
Check 1 2. Can you hear me?
Yeah, oh yeah, brother. Yeah.
How y'all doing this evening? How you doing there, Slaughter? I am Baby Girls. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing good.
Yeah,
doing good.
West Side's my side. Y'all check him out when you go live now.
Yes, indeed.
And he's got a store. He's got a store with some pretty decent, sweet shirts and stuff.
Okay, I'll have to check you out.
All right, much respect. Yeah, definitely. Y'all go ahead and check that out there. But yeah, much respect to Red Wolf and I am Baby Girl here. Yeah, this is a cool subject, Red Wolf here. You know, for one, I think about how are we stuck in a constant loop? Are we stuck on a record? You know, that's my question.
Everybody to think this is infinity, right? Remember I talked about that West Side?
That's right.
Infinity is a straight line.
Right.
Infinity, they got us programmed. It's a spell. Loop. Go ahead, brother.
And you know, I saw this video too about Saturn and how Saturn might be the soul catcher. It's like different phases to constantly keep you trapped. It's like you might get out of Earth, but you have to go through this particular dimension, this planet, this, that, and the third. So it's like a lot of things you have to go through to really get to the next. I should say next, to with your family per se, if you want to use that kind of language. So, this is the lowest realm, one of the lowest realms. Let me say it like that.
Yeah, I was going to make that statement because we know that if we want to look at the map that talks about the outer walls, right?
Yeah.
Also, like you know what I'm saying, when we look at the Pyrenees, we look at Antarctica, all the buildings and the pyramids and the animals, and that was before the last cold cycle that was previous the reset. When you look at these things, hey, what's going on, Fear None Everlasting? What's happening, y'all? Brother over there down in the cabs, check this out, right? When we look at these different portfolios of existence, remember I stated, I'm gonna see if I can find it again. The luminaries are a sign. Let me pull it up. Okay. They always, what's up?
I have a book with that in there, Westside. I'm just trying to find it in my library.
Got it.
That actually outlines those planets and the realms that you were talking about. Just can't find it. I'm trying to put my hands on it.
Got it.
Check this out. In the Bible, now y'all can look it up if you want to find a passage, whether it's Genesis 1:14-15, or I'm using that as a director. If you want to go to Luke or you want to go to Psalms, but I like this right here when it states. Remember, I expressed this. Stars are presented as signs, not just celestial. Now, signs, we're talking about literally. If you were to look at the celestial signs, right, these fake stars, you will see that they're in accordance with the old Aramaic writing, which some allude to being Hebrew and all that. All those terms are made up, right? And not just celestial objects, but as indicators and markers of divine events and purposes. So yes, I totally slept how they've taken that Saturn and Jupiter and all that, or the Pegasus, the Cancer, and all that stuff, and they mitigated it to be something close to us, to represent something, but not of us. But everything is about us. Everything. Right. So yeah, layers, absolutely. Just like I also, as immense and infinite as Earth is, I also am very cautious because I've seen things in my dreams that show levels, as you stated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Right.
Yo, Fear None, what's going on? What's going on, Everlasting? What's happening?
Yo, just chilling. Just supporting the broadcast. I really don't have anything to say in particular right now. If something comes up that I want to respond to, I'll jump right in.
Hey, y'all subscribe to brother man Fear None Everlasting's YouTube channel as well. And he has accounts. I don't know, TikTok be kicking us off of there for nothing.
Yeah, no.
He had a decent one. He's on I think Cashapp. Not Cashapp.
Patreon?
No. Fear None, could you go ahead and put all your stuff out there?
Okay, I'll put it in the chat.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
Yeah, throw them all up there, and y'all support the brother, man. He's a one-man warrior. He's an ex-army, American Army soldier, yet he's a warrior. Right? A soldier still listens to monkeys. A warrior moves on their own. You know what I'm saying? And gets involved in things that speaks their case and spreads it. That's why I say it's important to know to speak on your dreams or even the little moments when you have deja vu.
So let me ask you this.
Let me read this right quick. Let me read this right quick.
Sure.
Okay. Now, in the Torah, the first 5 books, as they say, of the Hebrew Bible or whatever, right, presents dreams as a form of communication from God. We already covered the fact that you are gods, and we don't look at ourselves. They want us outside ourselves. But if you understand this vernacular, you realize, right? When I looked in the mirror, I was looking for God, right? And then I looked in the mirror and I finally saw God, right? Often used to reveal future events or offer guidance. However, why are we so misguiding and unforgiving of self? Because we've forgotten the fact that we are gods, and we move impeccable as they have described the narrative they have painted, and all because of fear. That is not the world we come from, and that is not our world. Though it is implicit that it is here, if you move like the gods you are, and I ain't talking black power and all that other boo-ha-ha nonsense, but move for ye are gods and stop being comparative to those who have nothing to do with what you created, what you've established from the foundation, or the fact that you fell. Stand up. Be that not which is imposed, and to heck with what anyone else says in regards of the fraudulent narrative of history and identities and everything else that keep you subjugated, diverted, and subverted. Dreams are a big key to your existence. So are daydreaming, mitigating thought, and I'm going to bring this up. Check this out. Why is my thing getting dark on me, Mike? Oh, I did not do that. Anyway, but it had went totally dark. All right. So I want you to listen to this as far as words in relationship to a dream, right? Set one's heart on to think, to consider. Phonetically, it crosses the barriers. Contemplate. Yes. You may wake up and something rouse your something to you needs to be done. And you went against it and realize, right? Conceive, conceptualize, visualize. Sometimes related to a fantasy, a nightmare, vision, a hallucination, those things that are dismissive based on magic. But no, fantasy, nightmare, vision, hallucination is magic that keeps you outside of accepting the reality that you control your narrative. No matter what happens or your disembarkment from here. All right? It's based on ambition and aspirations. Your dreams are part of that. Depending how deep you are in the murk of the world they created, some people wake up, I had a dream, and next thing you know, they've written something, somebody buys the patent, but we don't see the enemy behind it. We don't see the weaponization. We see something that's still part of who we are, and so we will still perform in that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Goals, design, plan, aim, object, and objective. People say, well, how is that so? I've discussed it. I've had a dream for I don't know how many decades, and I've been able to walk through it and see things and find things. Literally open up a door, see a piece of paper, and have to go back 100 times to see maybe an A, R, or V on the paper. Over and over, and then waking up, so-called waking up, and then going, oh, I think that was an and. Wait, it was spelled different. I remember when I used to read all those old books, and I'm looking like F for S. You know what I'm saying? You know when you get into the old contemporary of Old English and all this other stuff, and you see these different letters when you're reading, and it confuses you. I was seeing words like that.
Got it.
You see what I'm saying? Like real so-called dream based on whatever it may be on.
Right.
And they're too real. They're too real. It's like getting your head cut, right? And you remember the guy hit you with a line and nicked you. You remember that 2 hours later when you put the alcohol on. Oh man, he nicked me. Just like that, as real as that. Oh, baby, go slaughter. That's what I want to reiterate on with you, right? When you said the giant pick you up.
Yeah.
What time period do you think that may have been?
Based on the buildings, it was what would you say, Roman period or Sumerian?
No such
it was
thing as
older.
the Roman period.
Well, it was older. It was an older time frame. Like I could see pyramids in the background, so it was an older time frame. It wasn't recent. I guess is
We're
what I'm
going
trying
to
to
shake
say.
that up. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So I'm going
The
to
buildings
state
look
this.
different.
It might
The
have been the
buildings look
last time
different.
you was here. But check this out. And fear not, he might have some. Rome is a concoction that it applies to a group of inbreds.
Okay.
Just like fake ass Egypt. That's why they got Hawass over there to push the fake narrative. He's one of those big 33rd degree, you know what I'm saying? He was put there of the conquered bloodline of mixing with the enemy, right? All of it is nonsense. There are realities based on certain things that happen during certain time periods as far as the narrative of time, but they've conglomerated to make a whole new narrative that is, we all see the whitewash history, and they keep pulling stuff out the ham, showing that those people didn't even exist as such. You know, like people have a hard time with the word Negro applying to necromancer, meaning that which they do and pervert it with the dead, this, that, and the other, with young children and everything. And the fact that it's a term that was used for the Slavs who were slaves, who were in Europe by the blackamoors and everything else, even brought here, to which we had slaves. I mean, people don't know these things. And that's the reason why it's important. Because, look, dreams also based on sometimes what you read. Sometimes it reminds you and enlightens something. You
But
know?
you know what's weird though? This was happening when I was younger, so I knew nothing of what I know now. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
This was happening years ago before I knew anything about what I've studied. You know, so
Okay.
that's what's kind of, you know, tripping me out. But you know, you said that it possibly was the last time that I was here. I really think, well, like I told you, when I had that encounter when I got shot, I think that's really the last time I was here. To be honest with you. And what's weird is that when I was turning towards the individual that shot me,
Yeah.
it was on the same side of my face where I have a birthmark, right in the same area, right on my temple, right on my temple.
I think the last time I was here was the last time I was here. I was with Snoo. We were young. I think I was no more than about 7 or 8. I don't know. I was young. And I remember a lot of noise. We were up in all the buildings were just unbelievable. The gold on top of the domes, the stuff that you can see at night so clear, and there weren't no stars. And I remember things in the sky. I was looking through these big bubbled windows about, I don't know, 40 or 60 feet up in a home. Everything was pastel. It was beautiful. And I remember her being snatched up by one and me being snatched up by another woman. And then there was a flash. And then here I am.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how long? I mean, you said you had that memory. How old were you when you started having that recall?
Oh no, that started up when my son passed away.
Okay.
When he was that's when it started. And it never stopped. I mean, it only got more in depth. And I kind of started looking for something else. And that's when I started seeing things that I'm going to share about.
Makes
And that's
sense.
why I make the same as I do. It don't matter what they're doing. They could keep all the idiot. They like using everything is so bad that when I say I know how it ends, it doesn't matter what people think, believe, or anything. I don't care. It's whatever it is. Do I have any feelings about it? Yeah, I kind of do, because it's kind of crazy like and messed up. But at the same time, it has to happen. And I don't say it because I want to. I say it because there's an authority
It's
behind
what you know. Yeah, you know it.
it. I don't care what they do with their little dumb selves. They don't pervert themselves so much. They don't, it is what it is. I don't care. You know what I mean? It matters not. They screwed the pooch, and that's, choices. Just like our dreams, we have choices to mitigate them, even our daydreams. How many times have you, like, rode a bus and you've been sitting in the car at the light and then your mind went somewhere not on stress? You saw something, and then you come back.
Right.
Yeah, they used to happen quite a bit. It doesn't happen now.
Right. Well, it's nothing wrong when it happens.
Yeah.
We're not nurtured to we don't have the compassion for self how you said, to make the evaluations and then to see these things and deal with them in a way that can be beneficial. We're not given those as we should be. We're not guided. And so with no guidance, you gotta remember the education system is what perverted everybody, and Hollywood and war and got everybody wanting to be G.I. Joe and shoot big cowboy and Indian stuff. And it's a powerful magic. Yet the stuff that we in fear of here It might be based on something in relationship to it at a certain period that they've created this whole new made up history, and that we
Yeah.
partake in some fashion or form. Some of us, maybe not all of us, maybe all of us in one way or another. There's a million, maybe a billion stories. I mean, 8 billion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some of those stories might have cross reference or be at the same time. They have everybody so conflicted and confused and in chaos that when these things happen, we easily dismiss them because of the words and the terms they're giving us.
Yeah, I really wish I could interpretate what these experiences are, but I mean, they've always been with me, and I just learned to deal with it. You know what I
You
mean?
gotta
I just
meditate.
learned.
Don't say get it out. Don't give that energy. That's deflecting and being dismissive. You just say what you're supposed to say and says, "Oh, I'll go back in and I'll see what I can find." You have to convene upon yourself. You don't have to convince yourself. It's your dream. But you have to convene and convey that you have to be able to talk with self. You cannot sit here talking to everybody else. You're not in their dreams. And if you cross that vector, that should be a place of silence that you can relegate to your children and everybody else, which it can mediate and go outward. My thing is not to put everything on the platform. Now, I
Right.
know I say things that sound radical. I just not radical to me. It's only radical to those who don't want you to be able to move in a certain way or have a certain position or an opportunity to better yourself and enhance yourself. Otherwise, you wouldn't have fluoride in the water and the toothpaste and all these nitrates and all these other things. And I'm worried about putting graphene because of the frequencies. They've mitigated to change the 404 and 808 and all the other things. You are incredible and you could change the narrative.
This is true.
Your dreams are not an escape event. Your dreams are pragmatic to your existence because you can't tap into them. I am expressing that you should always tap into them. You should seek them. DMT release and all the other stuff. You need to have a phonetic relationship. You need to be able to see deep, meditate. I know there's a lot of individuals who don't meditate unless it's something struggling in their head that raises cortisol. Therefore, the stress factor doesn't allow healing. You need to be able to communicate and state certain things based on what you see. I'm not going to get shot in my head. What happened that I forgot there? I need to recall that. Could you be telling yourself something ahead of time of something that may happen? I'm not saying we know what tomorrow is. We should never have a great expectations for tomorrow, but always in the moment, because when you arrive to tomorrow, it'll be in the friggin' moment. There is no tomorrow. There's things established as they should be established. And what happened yesterday, keep it remembers because somebody's attempting to rob that. Are we dealing with some very perverse, subservient times of false loyalty and indicative to we got to get rid of the population? You know what I'm saying? The false geoeconomic pollution of this perversion of anyone can get rich when the fiat is unworthy, but it creates systems of caste systems. Like I was talking about one of the worst caste systems in India, Hindustan. Nobody wants to talk those things based on what they see because they don't want to look at themselves and research themselves to call upon things effortless or to know when to be silent and not have to say anything. Dreams are important. I remember coming up and they used to have the little things, commercials, dream or sing out loud. They had a song for dream. They had, your dreams, let a world, when they had the reading rainbow and all that,
Yeah,
all
I
that
remember
stuff.
that.
Now they don't talk about it. They say, oh, you probably want to be this and that. We have already implanted it in your head. The world was hating it, but we're going to keep what certain presidents said about Bohemian Grove. We're going to keep all the ugly things. The appetite for the perverse and the disease is out here, and it's a big experiment. Those are not real dreams because I've seen over 100 damn women who try to become men go back and say, I wish I didn't do it 5 or 6 years ago. Now they want babies, they want their breasts back, and all these things. I've seen men who said they never knew the touch of a woman, couldn't even remember their mothers, but they knew the touch of men, perversion. and they running around out here skinny, getting their prostrate massage and this, that, and the other. Nobody wants to have these conversations because nobody dreams anymore. It's legitimately, I'm going to move at this beat. I'm going to do what I want. And it's nothing about hey, Carrie, it's nothing about self-benefit, but it's about further grooming that is passed down, the broken cyclic situation of the world we're dealing with. It's not contemporary. It's contemporary and it's beginning for the new world order crap. And even that I don't like saying because we give it power. We legitimize this bull crap. Remember, dreams about perception and all that stuff, as well as the opposite, fantasies, the humiliating things. The derivatives of control. Your dreams free you. Even if they're the most worst. I had a dream when I was in combat in a damn trench. I don't know what the hell I was doing in it, but it wasn't like the trench. No, it was different. It was different, real different.
I had this recurring dream as a child that followed me all through childhood, probably up until I was about 10 years old. Every day, every night, I used to fight with a little demon about my size.
Wow.
Like literally wrestle and fight with this demon every night. And I was surprisingly evenly matched with it. Like I couldn't get the better of it, and it couldn't get the better of me. And this would just happen over and over and over. Like I said, up until I was about 10 years old, and I find that these days, lately, as an adult, I haven't been dreaming. I've had very few dreams that I could recall, except during times when I was extremely sick, when I was vulnerable.
Okay. Okay.
I would have like where I would be like nearly on death's doorstep. Hadn't eaten in a few days. Um, because my body wouldn't accept the food or the fluids or what have you. And I would become extremely spiritual during those times.
Wow.
And I can recall one instance where one morning I was dreaming and I woke up and I was still in a dream. I was still in a dream. Like I was at a party. Uh, as you know, I live in the islands, right?
Right. Right.
I didn't know any of. I was somewhere probably in Virginia or South Carolina or somewhere in the South,
Wow.
and I was with this big group of people, like gangsters, and we were planning to go to this party. I can't tell you the kind of party it was, but because it's a little vulgar. I don't know how it ended up in my mind. Because it's a little vulgar. I don't know how it ended. Yeah, I just getting a little feedback, but yeah, like I was saying, I was literally right there, but nobody else could see me, but I could see everyone. I was wide awake. I was like literally sitting up on my bed, and I'm like I was physically there. So I don't know if that was remote viewing, if that was lucid dreaming, or whatever it was, but it happened more than once. That's the one that I recall vividly. Um, what do you make of that?
Yeah, I was going to say, that was an excellent dream within a dream.
I was wide awake, like literally, and what?
No, no, because I've had the same thing where I was in a dream, woke up and realized that I can go in and out that dream, and I was still in a friggin' dream. Well, at least I had that way. But a dream within a dream refers to a situation where dreaming, and you could be awake now as well. A situation of coming out of your sleep and still be part of it. A situation where while dreaming, one becomes aware that they are also dreaming. And this awareness is then incorporated into another layer of dreaming. And it could be when your eyes are opening, when you need to catch that breath. Because I've had a number of times, not swimming or drowning, where I went from one dream into the next. And I was stunned because I realized it. And then when I had to breathe, because I wasn't breathing all that time, like I was in shock for me. I mean, that is, yeah, if you want to call it like remote viewing, the remote viewing, I'm going to pull it up because I got it down here. Excuse me.
So have you had any type of experience where you do astral projecting?
Are you speaking to me?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes.
I'm not.
That's
I'm
good.
like I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I think that was the closest that and the other time that I can't recall offhand were the two instances that I could have been astral projecting, or I could have left my body, or what have you. I personally can't.
Astral projecting, I accept. As far as remote viewing, no. That's a directive. That's something that you're given, you know what I mean? But yeah.
And the funny thing about it is I didn't know any one of those characters at all. And I was trying to search my mind to see if maybe I could have maybe seen a particular show, and it lingered in my mind subconsciously, and I brought it up later. But as far as I know, I had no connection to any of those people whatsoever. I just accidentally tapped into that realm of people that were totally unfamiliar to me.
Brother, it could be a past life, beloved.
And
Yeah.
Hypothetically, it could be.
it could be
It could
what?
be something that was unfinished. There could be something that you missed, or something you would go back and remember. Because you gotta there are stories I've read where individuals come back and they are confessing that they remembered why, to remember the past, and they would go and find something in a burnt home or in a wall somewhere, and they would find this not knowing how, and then they would tell them something, and then the government would get them.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Well, I've had a couple of experiences like that where and it's been a while since I've done it, but literally like I knew I was hovering, I don't know how to explain it. I was hovering above the bed and I was watching me and my husband sleep. And it scared me so bad that I remember my chest started when I guess I was coming back into my body and my chest was beating so bad. And each time I
That
have these weird dreams, I break out in like a sweat, like literally somebody dumped water on me, like they dumped water
you
on
know
me.
what? That's a great thing to do if you got bad flatulence.
What? What?
Have an out of body experience so that way you can. Okay. I just want to break it up a little bit. No, absolutely. I've had that. Fear not. That's kind of what you were doing as well, even though you were awake or semi-awake. I would probably call it, there's a term in medical school, I forget, but there's that semi-conscious. Sometimes when I'm above myself, I see myself, I reach down to touch myself.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I have not done that.
no, but it don't feel the same. It feels like you're touching liquid, or it felt like it was
Yeah.
not describable. It felt like I was touching silk, but not silk. It felt like something wet, but not wet. It felt like I wasn't there. Like maybe I was really right here, and I was reaching out to something else, unexplainable. I don't know.
The funny thing that I know I was wide awake because my daughter got up to go to the bathroom. When she did, she spoke to me and the dream ended. And I wanted to get back into it, but I couldn't. Like I was like snapped out of that realm.
Yeah, we didn't hear the first part. You kind of went in and out.
Yeah. What I was saying, I knew that I was fully awake because
Yeah.
at the time my daughter was in the next room,
All
and
right.
she got up to use the bathroom. And when she did, my door was open. and I saw her, and that broke whatever connection I had to that realm.
Well, you kind of like frozen, like.
No, it
Wait.
wasn't, and I was like I am right now.
Oh, okay, all right.
Wide awake. Like I got up to use the bathroom. I was still having the dream, sat
Okay.
back in the bed, and I was like, what the hell is going on? I never experienced it before. And it felt weird, but it felt good. It felt like something
Okay.
that I could do again. Like I was developing some sort of talent or discovering some sort of hidden ability that I was able to tap into,
Okay.
and I wasn't able to do it again. I feel like if I was in that state again, where I was like physically debilitated and like spirit,
You're breaking
that
up.
I feel as though I was physically debilitated again if I was sick, which
Okay.
brought on a high spiritual state for me that
Yeah.
I can
Yeah,
connect.
same thing happened with me, bro. When I was poisoning my lungs, and even though I knew things beforehand, after that is when I accepted because I saw things that I would never say on YouTube.
Yeah,
You know, I always say hey, when you was a kid, you saw this. Were you dreaming? No, I was wide awake when that happened.
yeah,
When I was being beaten and had the out of body experience when I was being beaten on my back and my buttocks and her sitting on me while I couldn't breathe and I blacked out. I was watching her beat on me even when I couldn't breathe and I stopped scratching her legs.
yeah.
My hands went limp. And then she got up. I remember her face like this, and then I turned over. Why, Mom? And then that's when anyway, she ran out and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, and I saw it, and I'll never forget it. You know, it wasn't a different time. It was right at that moment. That's when I was like, no, there's more to this.
Yeah.
Even at telling my grandmother, it's like, boy, you don't talk that. My great grandmother was like, I'm coming to get him. Whenever I talk like that, she come and get me and she would assist me using a different language.
So she knew something.
Yeah, she
Of
did.
course, our old timers knew things. Of
Hmm.
course. Yes, absolutely. You know, these things are important to discuss. These things they're lucrative to us. They're worth more than any dollar, coin, gold, silver, platinum. They're worth more than anything physical, and they're real.
I tell you, I wish I could. I wish I could bring that on like at will.
Are you going
Like
in and out?
I wish I could refine that ability because
Yeah, me
like
too.
it felt good. It felt like weird, but it felt good, and I felt like so- somehow transcended my normal abilities and moving to, a next level of.
Hey, fair enough. Check this out. I'm always saying this, right? Never make a statement that facilitates it not being plausible or plausible. Say the things that would encourage you through meditation, all your time and everything, your diet, to profess it as it is. Allow it to be. You
Okay.
speak, you give it the power, man. Oh, forget all that doubt and all that other stuff. Speak it and make it relevant. It don't matter what nobody else thinks. You dig?
Right, right.
Positive affirmations are not just words. It's frequency. When you tell yourself these things, they
Frequency.
manifest. But don't push it and then throw it on somebody when you haven't mastered it, which in mastering it, you become silent because you now know what nobody else knows.
Right. That
And
makes
if they're
sense.
teaching it, they'll know it and feel it from you. When you've allowed yourself to walk into that venue,
Okay.
we, we speak things
Into
positive and
exist. Yep.
power.
Into existence. Yep.
Yep.
Exactly.
I'll definitely do that.
I will.
Absolutely. Bro.
I
Take
will
them
say.
5 to 10 minutes, man. Get in the stream. Allow yourself to go with no worry, no apprehension. no fear. You don't have that. So allow yourself to walk outside of it.
Well, now decided that I'm gonna consciously meditate and
Mm,
try
mm.
in those type of states.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, I, I I was looking at a clip on, I don't know if it was YouTube or TikTok or something, but it was a clip today that I looked at where a guy was talking to AI, and
Okay.
the most the most direct way to a high sense of consciousness and spirituality
Mm-hmm.
without the use um of psychedelics, uh certain psychedelics like ayahuasca and stuff like that. And the AI responded with 10 steps as to how he would be able to do it. And
Mm-hmm.
one of them was sustained breathing practices for a total of 11 minutes. Um, 11 minutes would bring you to that point. And then there were some other,
Nirvana.
yeah. So I didn't pay attention to it as much as I should have, but that's when I decided earlier on today that since I spend so much time alone, it this is the perfect time in my life to
Mm-hmm.
develop those types of abilities to meditate and to breathe,
Right.
um, for as long as I possibly could, and try to master that, because I've mastered other things in my life that were challenges, that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with
Mm.
but a single step. So in the beginning, it may be intimidating, to try to do that, but after sustained
And
practice,
intimidation is a form of fear. That's what we have to overcome.
right,
Okay.
right, right. So that's where I'm at now. I'm I'm
Awesome.
I'm realizing that I haven't arrived. That I still have far to go.
You have work
So
to
do
do. We all
so
do,
do I.
beloved.
Yes, so do I. Work in progress.
Yo, what's up? How's you liking this, brother?
Very
Oh, he's probably
informative.
off.
Very, very good. Very informative. I'm listening and just listening and soaking up the game here.
Awesome, awesome.
Oh
Hey,
yeah.
check out what Millennium ML said. Hey, sis, I didn't see you up in there. I have several memories that I've always had. One dream is experiencing global profound despair and sadness. I do not know the reason for this, but I believe this was one of the resets. And you know what? You never know.
Hmm.
You may have been an oracle, a prophetess. Peacekeepers have always been peacekeepers. Warriors have always been warriors. And even in the loss of this tobacco, where it's established that it's the military, which is pure nonsense. And soldiers have always been soldiers and soldiering. They're easy to manipulate to be racist, this, that, and all the other things. And most people don't know this because they don't have the knowledge of knowing. That's why I say it's important. Your dreams don't just show you give you a peek into another realm. When you access them and allow them and permit them, they'll tell you a lot more, because your body, just like fight or flight, is always attempting to tell you and remind you something that you seem to keep walking away from. And it has its manners and means of how it does it. Sometimes slow, sometimes fast, sometimes awkward, sometimes stern.
I have read that what you did in your previous life is pretty much what
A
you're doing
reflection.
in this life, and it continues. I remember reading that in several places. Like
Even
you,
in the hidden forms, and most people, it's hard for people to see it. They go, wait a minute. Why does that guy got that talent, but he's not pursuing it? What's going on? What's up with the sociological, economic stance and this, that, and the other? The things that have incorporated to hide, besides certain privileges and lies and ethnicities and all these other things. Magic is heavy, but you can
hmm
break the magic spell.
hmm I agree. I know that when I was having those out of body experiences where I was like hovering above the bed, those times that I told you, I
Yeah.
realized that I was out of my body and it scared me. And I had to tell myself, calm down. I'm not breathing. I have to breathe. I have to get back to my body. I have to go back. I have to return. And as soon as I did that, I don't know, I closed my eyes and just took a breath and I was back. I don't know how to explain it. It was like I was scared.
You don't have to explain it. I think I've
I
been there a
scared
few times. I think everybody else may have been.
Yeah, I scared myself, but I realized that I was okay. You got to calm down. You're right there. You just got to get back. So I panicked, is what I'm trying to say. I panicked, and then when I realized, okay, I gotta stop
You're not
tripping.
trying, you're saying it. Stop using those words to
Yeah,
spell.
yeah.
Stop saying try.
Right. Well, I did. You're absolutely right. But when I realized that I was making myself even more scared and panicked, I realized I'm like, okay, I got to get back.
That's
So,
it.
however I did it, I got to go back and do it again.
That's it. You know what? And you get over the fear, and now you start wanting to be a little venturous. That's what I want to say about fear none, right? You're gonna be a little venturous now. You're gonna be like, yo, man, I got this. Now, know this too, now, y'all, because we have been dealing with the perversion of existence. There are things in the dark realm.
Oh yeah, I know.
The
Mm-hmm.
matter of existence, non-existence.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna see who's a warrior here. Now, this is to help you out. How many to the brothers, we can ask the sisters too, but hold on. How many of the brothers have ever been in a fight and every one of your punches was slow?
Oh man.
How about you? Hold, let me finish. How about you're running and you're not getting nowhere and your enemies are on your tail, but you want to fight, but something has got you where you're not convinced in your fighting abilities, yet you know you can fight.
Yeah.
Brothers first, please.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's happened. That's happened before in a dream before. It was like you were hitting the person, but you were not. Um, it wasn't slow so much. It was like I was hitting the person, and you know, and
No
it
effect,
was
no effect,
no
no
effect,
effect.
no effect, no effect. Very
Yep.
weird. Yeah.
I remember hitting this cat, and you could hear it through the mountains, and he was standing there like. I said, "What the hell?" And I mean, ain't not happening. So I turned to run slow, and I think I'm running, but I ain't getting nowhere. And you know how you see the hand and everything go away. Well, reason why I say this, the enemy knows a lot. You think they don't know how to mitigate factors of visual, verbal, to have you incapable of seeing the reality of what you're really capable of? That's the subservient narrative of our fictional existence. That's because warriors dream that. Because there's something keeping them from exploding and fighting and knocking down. And I ain't talking about you people that have all them crazy fights and all that time. Most of the time, them people ain't really never had no fight. They just want to get at somebody and they're afraid to. But what I'm saying is for warriors, it's like a mosaic again, like a painting, a Picasso, you know? But you can't move in it because they're blocking you. They knew when you came in by your blood work, this may be this individual in our records. We have the hospitals established. We're going to keep them away from accessing and becoming who they once were.
Assassin's Creed.
Yep, exactly what I was thinking.
Assassin's Creed. They testing for that bloodline. They know exactly who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
This nigga's back. Oh,
They get this shot. What I say yesterday about this paperwork showing who in certain areas, and by the dynamic of it, that's the purpose of censuses, to know the names of the certain bloodlines. And then they can go ahead and administer the things that will block certain things or take you up out of here.
Mm-hmm.
So you will never, by the period, access and have a deeper understanding of your true position, your narrative, and who and what you were. Make sense?
Yeah, it does. Very much so.
I know the damn bears are like, wait, this nigga just say. Excuse my French. Excuse my French. I'm nobody's Negro in the head, but you know. Oh man, hold on. I got some more. What's that? Oh, hold on. I have a what's called here. Let me see. Oh, my private chat's going phonetic. I got you. Okay, yeah, I saw. Okay. Let me remove that. Let me scroll down. What was that? Shy City, I got you. Another dream. It says another dream had to do with me being instructed that secrets of the world were hidden, but the enemy, whatever that is, also buried misleading secrets to keep us from not rediscovering truth. Yeah, the Smithsonian. There are things under the ground, hidden or destroyed or covered. Absolutely. That's actually known. That's known now.
That's a fact.
A lot of us have read these things. You know, when we look at the world, as far as attempting to use the material that they've left to construct and put the puzzle pieces together. That's also a delay. All right. That's why I say it's important not to be awestruck by things going around the world. The war, they get everybody thinking on that. They already got about 6 billion talking war. So the magic is there. It's inevitable. You see what I'm saying?
So what do you do? What
do you mean? What do? You work on yourself to ascend.
Yes, ascend. That's the only way.
You get more in tune with your dreams and everything. You be as honest as you can be, never lying about nothing.
So do you think that that's what could be holding me back, like on some level, that I'm too concerned with events and positioning myself in such a way?
You're going in and out, brother.
Do you think part of me, because I got a problem with, I'm kind of stagnated because I put too much on.
Brandon, you keep breaking up, beloved. Like I'm hearing the stuff. I got a context of what you're saying, but it's and then you're saying stuff, and I'm like, I don't want to miss nothing, beloved. I want to hear all that.
I'm trying to speak slowly, but I'm speak clearly too. I'm personally being stagnated from my growth because of my concentration on waking people up to what's going on just about every stimulus that I'm presented with. Like, I don't ignore it. I go straight to it. And I try to find out everything that I could about it and relate my findings to others. And is that something, because I see that as my purpose? Like, if I don't do that, then what do I do?
You know? Well, if you're asking and you see one thing as your purpose, you're kind of answering it, but at the same time, that's an uphill battle that you shouldn't be on, because you're giving yourself an answer in the response to reply to something you have really no knowledge in, because you haven't embarked on that journey. But you're using all the things that make you beneficial and make you magical and make you important. You're using that, and that's a cover story. You need to let that go. That's who you are. You need to work on the other part to allow yourself to transcend and ascend. You got to transcend the person that you are in action. Like me, I always talk about making sandwiches to feed the homeless. That wasn't my purpose to make sure they had something in their stomach. It was for me to go around them and to feel them.
Yeah.
So I could feel myself. So I can address the real feelings I had compared to the lies. No, I would normally have been doing it for nostalgia and ego. That's why I say it's important to get rid of those derivatives, emotions, and feelings that can lie. They contradict, so they do this, pull you back. You got to let go of that and not speak as if you know when you need to rely upon yourself to walk in that, not just manifestation, but increase that manifestation that only you can increase.
For myself.
Absolutely. Nobody else. Okay. And when you do, you'll realize that you don't have to make something else. It'll emanate from you, how you move. Everything changes when you change. It doesn't mean that you disembark from the same journey. It means now it manifests something you didn't know before. Anytime I sit there and say, "Oh, I got it," there's no more growth. I'm stuck in what I've been doing. I tell myself every morning, I don't know nothing. I put away whatever it is and I allow whatever to come in to be the guiding director of that day to facilitate whatever is required to be facilitated as long as it's okay with me.
Yeah.
So I move differently, but I don't have to express it. Not at all.
So that's the key right there. Good.
I appreciate all the guests. What's going on, y'all? Got Shaw City back in the house. Who else we have up in here? My apologies, guys. I know we had Marcus. We got MLL, Carrie. We got David up in his piece. All right, what's going on, beloveds? What's happening? Baby Go Slaughter. We got Westside. You know he on the platform. He doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? That brother follow Westside. Y'all better follow him. I'm surprised a lot of y'all didn't come over and watch that live we had about the 14th, 13th, and 15th Amendment. It was pretty awesome. Everybody subscribe to one another. Let's support each other like a tribe of family. Let's not be in respite and have all these things that block us. Let's allow ourselves to materialize in the physical dichotomy of acceptance, not all the things they've given us, but acceptance of self. That way we can move together and mediate among not a fictional ideology, but the strength of who we are. You dig?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Yes.
Somebody sitting there want to. Oh, Nitsa!
Oh.
Hey, saluda. What's going on? Aqua, what's happening? Can you hear us? Nitsa?
I'm here.
Ah,
Can you hear me?
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, how you doing there?
We hear you.
We heard you, not no more.
You there?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I am. How are you guys?
What's up, Aqua?
What's up, my
happening?
nagas?
My nagas.
Y'all doing okay?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Much respect. Yes, indeed. Much respect.
I can hear. Finally, I hear voices.
All right.
I hear voices behind those nicknames. Well, y'all gonna have to excuse my language because I do have a little language barrier. I'm here.
That's all right.
I have
Absolutely.
a little language barrier. Nigga, please shut up. Finally, it's like I see dead people. I see dead voices.
Awesome. Yes. You don't have no language barrier. You're all right.
Yeah, you're fine.
Oh, wait till I start talking, like really talking. Yeah.
What, you go in and out, some other languages come out?
Yeah.
I call it Spanglish.
Sometimes I will flip the phrase. It happens.
Yeah, it's all right.
It happens when you speak those Roman languages.
Yes. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So how are you doing today? Pretty good? That's what matters.
Wait, y'all haven't even heard me yet. You didn't hear me. You haven't heard me yet. Oh, shoot. Oh, good. Yes. Yes. Then the Jamaican go and start talking at the same time when they come out, you know.
Hey, yo, fair none. Get you run for your money.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Because me also Jamaican. Well, yeah, Jamaican, you know, me have big ear.
I can't hear you, fair none.
Definitely.
Yes. Hey, I would really enjoy my brother Kwame Nut coming on here over in the UK. Magwan. He's Shante and Ghanaian. It's Shante and Ghanaian, a magnificent, magical brother. Y'all, oh my goodness. You want to talk about some vegan recipes, boxing, and all that? He is steadfast, and he's out there with the fathers against all the knives, and he's a wonderful brother. We've got so many. We have so many magnificent, wonderful brothers and sisters, all of you. So many.
You want to hear some dreams, huh?
Well, just keep it marginalized. Tell the story, and how does it like transpose? What effect has it had on you? Like, what is it you think you see, and keep it honest, platonically honest, based on what you recall of that dream. How many times maybe you had it? What do you think that it infers or is a relation to? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay. I have a dream.
You went out, sis.
Okay.
Yeah, it just went out.
Well, I'm getting like, hold on. I'm gonna have to pause the YouTube. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to do the same thing. I was getting feedback, so I had to pause it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I hear you though. You sound good.
All right. All right. I have a dream. This dream has been 3 times.
Okay.
3 times. I was in this ship, some kind of boat. To me, it looked more like a steamboat. And it was somewhere between the 1920s, early 50s. I can't pinpoint exactly what year it was.
Was it black and white or in color?
In color.
Okay.
This was in color.
It's important to remember that, guys.
Yes. Everybody was dressed up nice. I mean, like, they were rich folks.
Was it a little more than closer to Victorian like? Really?
No,
you know what I mean?
No.
Okay.
That's why I'm a little bit more into between the 20s and late 40s.
Oh,
early
the
50s.
suits and all the real decent. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
it was really suit and tie and top hat and the whole 9 yards. And this was now I won't say saloon. It was more like a VIP section.
Okay.
I was the singer. This
So you were the eyes looking into the audience.
I'm looking at the audience. I'm dressed in a blue shiny dress.
That's always important to remember you at your dreams. Was it in color? Was it in black and white? Was it nostalgic? Was it pastel? Was it very soft? Was it number 2, number 4? Was it pinned in? Because you'd be surprised when you start looking at your dreams. Sometimes you might be thinking you're Acme in the comics or something.
Right. So
awesome. Keep going.
I was singing in this place. Everybody had their drinks. They were smoking the tobacco, kind of Cuban type tobacco.
Ah, cigars.
Cigars, exactly.
Cigarillos. Okay, cigars. Yes.
I could not recount faces, but I saw what they were wearing. It was elegant, highly elegant. So we decided, the band and we took a break. So I went to the balcony to get some fresh air.
Okay.
and somebody fell. I remember the shoes, the back of the shoes, it was leather. A man, it was a man's shoes. He slid down and went right into the water. And I went right behind him.
Are we talking about the damn the Titanic?
I went behind him to save him. I can't tell you.
No. Reason why I'm saying I'm just throwing it in there because a lot of people don't know the truth that a lot of the people on the Titanic, or the ship that they want to call the Titanic, was a lot of Negroes or melanated people. Excuse me, but a lot of people don't know that.
Right.
I thought the same thing when she said that.
To save him. Child, when I brinked up from the sleep, I was soaking wet.
Whoa.
Wow. Yeah.
I don't know if I drowned.
Heavy.
But here's the plot twist. I was not a melanated woman. I was blonde.
Whoa.
A pale face.
There you go.
I've had that same thing too happen to me. Yeah. I look at my hands and it's not the color that I am now. Yep.
Exactly.
I haven't seen what color I was.
See, blonde. I mean, a blonde bombshell, if you want, if you will.
I know in the last dream, I'm about damn near about 100 miles tall. I don't know what that's all about, but it is what it is.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm bigger than all things. I don't know what it is, but I just know one thing. Oh, yeah.
That's why I stay away from this racism thing. Because we don't know who is who in this realm. We really don't know.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
Exactly.
100%.
Above who their children is.
Exactly.
I was going to ask y'all something. Not to change the subject. It has to do with the dreams. I remember reading in Claudio Nicelli's one of his books, Chief, that that when they got to a certain point in Antarctica, there was like a dead zone. So anything when you go past that dead zone, you would have these beings.
They thought they were going to die.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. We know what you're talking about. T over he's like, yeah, because for real, they thought they were going to die. Yes, you tell the story, baby girl. Go.
Well, I mean, it was more like he was having contact with other realms of people that were in his life that had passed, that had moved on, and they came to him at that point, right?
Right.
And it's almost like I don't know. I guess my interpretation was different then. Okay. I mean,
you gotta remember though, after that, how they felt. They were so drained and tired. They thought they were almost dead.
That's crazy.
Magnificent. Absolutely.
About my brother, he said he was talking that he fight in some of my dreams. I can kick some ass.
Watch your mouth.
I mean,
watch your mouth. You kick some butter.
Taekwondo.
You kick some derriere. You can get some gluteus maximus.
Exactly. I'll be kicking some ass like, what the shit.
Some Asperger.
That's right.
Nah, just keep it plain. I don't want no gold ingot.
And there is another one. When I was younger, back in the 80s, my roommates said that I was laughing so hard in my sleep, speaking a language they have never heard before. I don't even know what the heck I was dreaming, but it happened. Then finally, on another dream, quick one, I recall that I lived in this house. I always remembered the door of the house. It looked like a hobbit house.
Wow.
Like the house of a hobbit, but in normal size. The normal as we are today.
Okay.
So what happened to me? I end up going to Netherlands, to Holland, Valkenburg to be specific. Yeah, it was in Valkenburg. When I was living back in Italy, I would take a chance and jump over and, visit other European countries. Child, I stood right there, and I stood and I saw exactly the house that I saw in my dreams in Valkenburg, Holland. And the door was blue. See, I have a thing, my favorite color is blue.
What? There you go.
Mine too.
Now, you know, at the end, I tell everybody about, you know what colors I see? Just real quick. Black, blue, gray, and this ominous dark, that's an amalgamation of dark colors. I don't know what that is, but it's there. Amalgamation. Yep.
And the last dream I had about a year. It's been over a year now.
Okay.
I was coming into the truth, which has been over almost 3 years now.
Okay.
I was asking Ama above, Mama, am I from these lands? You know, wanted to know. Please show me something that I belong here. And it happened. It happened. I saw the pyramids, what they call mounds. I saw it lit up. We had a celebration. I was with the Mayans. We were having some kind of big celebration. And after the cleaning of everything, I'm talking about everything was spick and span. That the actual sidewalk, the actual walkways, it was I can't tell you it's terracotta.
Terracotta? Okay.
Yeah, I can't tell you if it's terracotta or whatever it was, but it was clean. I'm talking about cleanliness was like superb. I was talking to somebody else. I couldn't see not even my face, but I didn't see the other person either. But the voice, I knew it was my voice. And I was laughing and talking a whole,
That's a frequency. That's a vibratorial. That's a frequency. Absolutely.
I was laughing because I'm a laugher. I am a total laugher. I have to tell you. I laugh about just everything. Smiley girl. But I was, when I kind of raised up from my bed, the whole thing flipped while I was waking up. It's like the pyramid, the whole thing, myself. I'm standing up into the current life. Like the whole world itself flipped over while I was waking up, and I was saying something okuli. And I said it loud, waking up, sitting on my bed. That was
you said it out loud, going through the actions, the emotions. Yes.
Right. Because I was still talking to that person. In other words, I was still in the dream. But sitting up, I had to get up. It was that time. And something okuli that was, I don't know if it's a longer word. I try to find the word okuli has to do with I. But I don't know if it's like another oxymoron or another word that goes along with it, you know, that I can't remember. Because I know I dream a lot, but I don't remember my dreams.
Just keep going back into the dreams. That it doesn't matter. You know that you have them. You can call certain things. Use those vectors. Use those points as vectors to reestablish the connection to your dream. That's all. Meditate. Make sure you meditate. Make sure you fast every once in a while. Hit yourself with some cold water. It doesn't matter age. Allow yourself to go through something. Sometimes it takes a little shock in the system. Sometimes cold water before you go to sleep.
Water. I love
cold water. Sometimes before you go to sleep, make you sleep better. I'm just pointing out these things. All right. Yes. And these things that we're not taught right, and nurtured because our parents wanted to make us comfortable, hot showers, baths, da da da. I'd have rather been taking cold showers all the time, and let that become the norm to keep my system in remission. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it's like a shock on the body, but man, it's so damn refreshing.
I'm going to point this out.
Refreshing. Yeah,
absolutely. Carrie put up, what's up with not and I know this for some and not for all. What's up with not seeing faces but knowing who some of the people are in you are? See, I'm going to say it real quick. I see faces in the end. I see all these faces real drab looking up at me. I can't go into it from there. But other than that, in my dreams, I literally see everybody who I'm supposed to see. Some of them are not here, or maybe there's something else now. I don't have no idea. And there's always the communication. They know exactly who I am.
Yes.
I don't even see my skin color as far as the definition of colorism. I don't. It's almost like I see through myself. You know, but how about you? I think that's a great thing. You know, what's up with the not seeing faces, but knowing who some of the people in you, who you're looking at are.
Yeah, you have some people that will come to you in your life and they just hate you for no reason at all. I think it has to do with a past life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or you have people that come to you that you've never met before, but when you talk to them, you're like, I know you from somewhere.
Exactly.
You're familiar to me.
How about the fact that y'all might have been listen, how about y'all might have been the best relationship and they've been conditioned when they came here. If they come around you based on pheromones or whatever, based on these they can't stand you and they don't even know why.
Yep.
Yeah.
A blocking factor.
Yeah, or I would say to that too. Or you have these entities that come here to get you off a certain door or get you off a certain path.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
that's true, brother. That's
blockers.
True. Yeah,
in many different forms. Absolutely. Like you got to go out there and you're dealing with a defensive end, a defensive lineup.
Yeah.
And you got to run through the gauntlet, and that's this world, this life they've given you. Not knowing that a lot of them players might have been your own family.
Yep.
Facts.
Yeah, I agree. And I also, it's not a belief or a lack of knowing. It's like I know that certain people come into your life for, I don't know how to say it, for a purpose or reason to keep you on the path or to show you a different path. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah.
I got you. That's a person, like a temporary person. It's going to be here for a certain time, certain period, and then they disappear. And they leave a very deep mark in your life.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
And how about your dreams? Excuse me, Westside, you got it right here. How about the fact that you're always telling yourself something different, but you can't hear yourself? You don't listen, and that's why it's important to meditate, because they're blockers.
Right.
Go ahead, Wes.
No, facts. And then, you know, you might have these entities or latchers that want to make sure if you do come back in this existence, this parallel, whatever, this existence here, that you do not exceed beyond the line you're supposed to go over. So what I'm saying is they might cast some type of how can we say this, like
a spell.
A spell, but like it's like a chip in your soul. So if you do come back, you still have that chip there. You still have that ID. You still have that number on your form. You know, when you come back here.
Look at why do you think they take off our blood and they want the umbilical sac? When we used to keep that, and in ignorance we allow it, and that's how they know who we are on their docus. They know exactly who you are.
Right. And you just put into a different meat block, different body. You know.
They know who we are.
Yeah.
They have all our documentation since we were born, wherever we were born. And they know exactly who the peoples are.
Carrie put up here, right? She said, I also dream mostly dark themes. And I'm always leading through life, the worst adversities. but I don't remember many dreams. Check this
Right.
out, Carrie. I'm going to express something. Remember, I was talking about how in this existence, they have indoctrinated us with so much that we collaborate with a lot of the fictional shit. Stuff. Excuse my language. Ooh, the fictional stuff, right? And in times, it doesn't mean that the fictional stuff's not based on a narrative that may be in performance related to something truthful, but it may be something entirely belonging to somebody else. And so we take that stuff and we magnify it with things relevant to something we like or see today. That's why it's important to meditate. That's why it's important to change diet, because the dark theme is the ideology of the perversion we're living now. That is not too long ago. Not too long ago, there was no perversion. There was a subjugation, because some of us have been performing on that side. I don't think that they will allow us to be over here unless we started becoming true sayers. I don't think that's how it works. I think that a lot of the darkness, the venues, and we see in dreams is based upon our stress, the shock, the yes, the abuse that we deal with here. I think it plays a major role in reshaping, as West and a few other, as West said, reshaping. You know, the shots we get when we're babies, all the stuff we're cut off from, and all that stuff. I think that is all inclusive to the how you say, the H.G. Wells, or the radio 19 Water Worlds. You know what I'm saying? I think it's based on an incorporation of some of the crap that we're seeing here, and I've had that as well. We got to shake that, and the only way to do that is by meditating, by fasting, to have a clear focus on exactly what you need to see, not the subversion.
Yeah.
I agree.
But excellent.
That's why I think something my brother said the other day. Enlightenment supposed to come in a pause. It can be overwhelming.
Yes.
You have to take a break so you can actually digest all the information and discern the information that you just received from a 5-hour video. Putting it that way, the mind can take only so much.
Right.
Yeah, you have to have time to process it.
Actually, your mind can take more than you can imagine. So never downplay it. You're just not in tune with it. Like Carrie just pointed out, neuro-linguistic program. Like, a lot of people don't know nothing about neuro-linguistic connections programming, which is the CIA stuff, and know it when you can hear it, if possible. And sometimes you hear that. You have your own frequency that you need to get in tune with, but that's where you got to get into, like where Westside was talking about the breathing. Was it you, Westside, or was it you, Fear Not? What Westside? I think it was the breathing exercises that are important. And a lot of people won't do that because oxygenating the lungs, which oxygenate the blood, which oxygenates the brain, allows a more clearer focus. Now, you might hyperventilate, you might feel like you want to pass out, but you need to do it.
Dizzy. You get dizzy.
You need to alkalinize yourself too at that period. Make sure you done poop, you got everything out. Make sure you ain't floating above yourself with flatulence. Allow yourself not to be walking in South Park or The Simpsons, but allow yourself to move like Snoopy on the Red Baron on the doghouse, getting around, checking everything out.
Right.
So the neuro-linguistic programming, absolutely a part of this. We tell ourselves what we speak, we create, even right now, even though we're relaying a message based on what we dream, and best of remembrance, even if small as form. It doesn't have to be this over exuberant. No, it's the simple things, the puzzle pieces. You know what I mean? And then us saying those things to heal, to allow ourselves to be complicit with who we are instead of the fictional character we've existed in.
And that also is like a puzzle.
That speaks volumes about who we are.
I may find out by me speaking today that person that drowned, that remembers that he drowned, we can interconnect. It's like, so you're the person that I tried to save. So it comes full circle when we speak out about our dreams.
Yes. You got to, though. We need to have this conversation. Somebody might wake up one morning and be like, oh, snizzle, I just had something that was too real. And there's times when we know when we should tell a story and we should evaluate and go back and research that dream. You know what I mean?
Right,
Absolutely.
because I'm still trying to find my body. I mean, some kind of news that it was recovered or something. So I'm using the Yandex that you suggested. So I'm trying to go by each decade of when a steamship or boat or whatever that was.
Landmarks. I always say if you have a dream more than once, more than 3 times, go in there and look at certain things, whether it be a tree, a building, the way the lake curves, the air at the time, with the smells. Allow the sensory overdrive or whatever. Let that kick in, the stimulation of the all your senses. Allow the things you hear to be something to further go and research in your dream, to be able to touch a sign and walk up to it. And there are times I went to see a sign and it was scribbled. It kept scribbling. And I see something and it was scribbled. And it was like if something was keeping me from seeing what the sign was. Oh, Meg, something was holding me down the other night, y'all. Yeah, you ain't alone, cuz. Would you have some pork and beans or something? No, I'm playing with you.
Pork and beans with spaghetti and damn hot dogs.
No, but look what he's saying and watch him out. Look, was playing Mercy. You was playing Mercy and woke up growling? Dude. Say least.
Yo, good night, everybody.
I fear none, beloved. You already know.
Peace, brother.
Peace,
yo, absolutely.
Much respect.
Y'all have a good night. Love.
You too,
brother.
You
Much
too.
respect.
Absolutely, man. That's a good brother right there, y'all.
Oh yeah. Oh, we got some very good brothers and sisters in this nation.
Did he put his stuff in the what you call it? I told him to put all of his stuff in there.
What stuff?
All his where he's at on YouTube, but you can go. You could have clicked on his.
The socials.
It's all his social. Yeah, all his social.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's on Instagram. He's on Facebook. He's on and he's using the same name.
Oh.
Fear none, everlasting. He's an excellent brother. He's got videos on YouTube. Hey, he got some real stuff, yo. He's dealing with them corrupt cops, all kind of stuff.
Oh, did he left did he left the addresses and everything?
I asked him to leave it in. He said he would leave it in. I don't know what happened.
Fear none, everlasting. I'll check him out.
Yeah. And it's look on all. I don't know. He might have TikTok because I said TikTok's ran by the fake Jews, and there are whoever they were employing to sit there and whether it's a government agency or the little idiots working out of brown boxes, they're sitting there just getting us off the app. So
what, did they shut down your channel on TikTok?
Unless you dress scantily, you're talking foolish, you're cussing and arguing, you're talking race wars and all the other goofy stuff, they're going to embrace you. If you're doing anything else legitimate, they're going to get you off there. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They took you off?
They kicked me off again. I ain't done nothing. And I was like, oh, whatever, man. It ain't my loss. You know.
Yeah, I barely go over there.
Let's get off of that. But yeah, let's hope he puts it up in there and puts all his connections. Use the again. Put fear none everlasting. It may come up in Google. You might show all his different things. Instagram, You know what I mean? All the social platforms. But yeah, I gotta get off here and cook, guys. The sun's gonna be going down.
Thanks,
and
everyone.
I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you
for coming in, man.
Great.
Yes. Have a good evening.
Hey, don't forget to support the brother on the Cashapp. Indian Jim 1. Okay, whatever you can.
Appreciate it.
We need to support each other.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm going to collect 15% for just advertisement.
You don't get your ass on.
You guys have a good night.
All right, y'all too. Much respect there. Much respect.
Any last words, everybody else?
Yeah, just make sure y'all complete what you need to complete, say what you need to say, do what you need to do. Let me say it like this for myself. You're gonna have regrets, but don't regret having regrets, if that made any sense what I just said there. And much respect to y'all.
That's right. All right, beloved. You already know, man. These days.
Keep it real. Keep it real. And just keep on going. And don't break your covenant. Don't break the covenant. We gotta unite. We gotta unite and make our own force, baby.
That's right.
All right.
So y'all already know Hawa. Like my brother Kermit always says, better. No, I ain't gonna say it's all late in the game. I'm about to say it at the end. But anyway, y'all familiar. Appreciate y'all. You already know my sisters and my brothers, the strength, the power. We need to get together and focus as such. And let's take it out.
All right then.
This for my aunt, baby. And the elder roaster. I phoned you. It's for y'all. Babalawo indoctrinated with the word of divination, power of Olalumari and Arundamila through initiation. It's the system. Ancestors spoke, said this my proper station. Words and manifestation that speak truth, my proclamation. Came to earth with my calabash. Destiny you handle. I had a blast with the bags, cash in my past life. New hourglass, time to flabbergast. Master the craft, subtract trash and forces in motion. On this path to determine future evolution. After I cast and the math, sounded by name of the ground and truly my glory create a sound of simple souls that relate profound and nimble, secret and shape with improvements.